What's going on, guys? So I wanted to make a video on Apple. This is a stock that I just got out of today before the FOMC meeting. Made a cup of coffee on it. However, it's still on my watch list. It's still one of the stocks that, I am looking to trade going forward. Obviously, we had the Fed talk today. We got a little bit of selling pressure. However, some stocks I really, really like because they held some major levels. So obviously, as you can see here, if we go to this chart, going back to 4 days ago here, we were really talking about this whole channel here. If we were to get a break on this channel, that it had room to stretch to 135, 136. And that was obviously confirming the 50-day moving average. You can see going back here all the way until 510, really to the beginning of May here, when we broke down below the 50-day moving average in May, and then kind of been trading there for just about 2 months now. So Apple has really been consolidating underneath the 50-day moving average with a lot of trees in the forest, a lot of resistance zones that it needed to break. However, going back to this candle here on June the 4th, we actually cleared out the 5-day moving average along with the 10-day, and then it's been slowly grinding. And this was actually the break point here was 128.30s. And the reason that that was going to be the break point on Apple was because it tested it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So you kind of get the point here. So you knew that when Apple really finally confirmed this 128.30s area, that it possibly had room to stretch. And on this break is when I went ahead and took contracts to the long side. I did write it up for about a point, made a cup of coffee on my options contracts there. And obviously today I knew we had the Fed talk. The market was a little bit sketchy. You can kind of see volume dying out. We had a little bit of selling pressure in the morning, and then we had the big, I guess you can call it, mini sell off, and then the market actually bounced back. But one thing that I do like that Apple did was that they held the 5-day moving average here, and we're still closed above this upper Bollinger Band here. So even with the selling pressure here, we tested the bounce, and this was a great bounce for anybody who caught it at 128.58, a bounce off the 5-day moving average, bounced perfectperfectly off that level, and then came back up to retest that level at about 130, and we rested at 129.21, still up 50 cents on the day, 0.39%. So going forward, I do know that we have 131 and 133 big buyers on the option side of the game that are still sitting there, and these are weeklies. We also have next week's expirations for 135 and 133 on the table. So being what it depends on what the market is going to do tomorrow. I feel that if we open up on a major gap down, and let's say that Apple does retest this 5-day moving average, let's say it cracks below, and then the market starts to slowly climb back up after the first 1 or 2 hourly candles, I think you could possibly get that second remount on the 128.50s area for a potential bounce play to play this back up into next week. However, if Apple does not lose the 5 or the 50-day moving average and it kind of hovers right around it, look for a bounce off of the 50-day moving average at about 129. And at 129 would also be a potential buy spot for me if it shows that it can hold that level. Okay, let's say we don't get all the way down to the 5 or the 50-day moving average support areas, and we kind of just trade, like kind of an inside bar day here, going back to this big breakout on 614. What I'm looking for here to go long on Apple is a re-break of 131. I think a break of 131, that Apple is going to start its next leg up here to 136. And obviously that would be a potential take profits zone for me here. And then I would re-enter in through all-time highs, going back to 137.15 all the way back here to 429. Okay, so I think that Apple definitely has room to put in its next leg up if it confirms 137.15 to make room to all-time highs at 148. However, this is going to take some time. Okay, the way Apple trades, it goes up 50 cents, goes down 20 cents, it goes up $1, it goes down 40 cents. Okay, Apple's not a Tesla, Apple's not a Nvidia, it's not an Amazon. It doesn't put in these big $5, $10, $15 ranges in a day. So you kind of have to be patient. Apple is almost more of a dip buyer stock, meaning that if you can get it off the bounce of the 50 or the 5-day moving average, that would potentially be the buy zone. Obviously, we're still in an uptrend here. Apple still looks really, really strong considering the selling pressure that we had today. And it's definitely something that I want to keep on watch. So I want to help all of you guys, be aware of the levels, help everybody make some money out there. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor. You have to make your own decisions at the end of the day. I'm just letting you know what I see. I see a break of 131 to the top side, potentially for the next leg up into the 133s and 136s. I would say if Apple can confirm 131, I think that we could see 132, 133 by this week's expirations. And I think next week, if the market continues its rally, even if the Qs continue to rest for a few more days, the NASDAQ 100 stocks continue to rest for a few more days, and Apple continues to build over the 50-day moving average, I think that is extremely, extremely bullish to go ahead and test this linear regression line here at 136. So a couple of areas that you can play. You got a bounce spot at 128.75, 128.50. Okay, you also have a bounce spot here at 129.14, depending on which level it gets down to. And then the big break that you're looking for is 131.2. You can also look for a stop loss if you're a scalper or a day trader. You can set a stop loss, give yourself a point and a half, 128.93, depending on if you're a super quick scalper using the 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute candles. Obviously, you're not going to want to give yourself that much risk. You're going to probably want to use the previous 5-minute candles low after your entry. However, if you're a day trader, an overnight swing trader, you're looking to hold this thing for a week, I would use any close below the 50 and 5-day moving average as your stop. Okay, so that would be about 128. I would use 128 as your stop, and as long as Apple is continuing to trade over 128.50, 128.30, I would be long on this stock, because you're not going to want to miss this next potential move when it does make a move to 133 and 136. I hope that helps you guys all out. Also, drop a subscribe, hit the like button. I do have a Discord. I'm going to link that in the description box below. I do put all of my daily watch lists on there and some of the reasons that I'm watching them, kind of do a little bit of breakdown like this in my Discord. So if you want to join my Discord, that link will be down below. I will see you guys all on the next video.